Hey, what's good, everybody, man? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Shout out to all the first time listeners. Shout out to all of everybody who is tuning in for the first time and the last time. Shout out to you. We appreciate you. So, I came across this video, man, and it really kind of piqued my interest. Let me go ahead and get right, man. And it kind of piqued my interest. It's the Angry Man. Shout out to the Angry Man. He does commentary for Black Americans, hip hop community, um, and he is projecting hip hop behavior, right? Not necessarily degeneracy, but it's pretty goddamn close, right? And the reason why I say it's pretty damn close to degeneracy because of this comment that he made about Future and Russell Wilson. Now, in this video right here, he was talking about Cardi B with her relationship with Stefan Diggs and where it's at now, and we understand what's going on with them. If you don't, um, Cardi B married Latina, Stefan Diggs, football player, single, playboy, and he's doing his thing, she's doing her thing. They're kind of he's the rebound guy. And if you know anything about relationships, usually the rebound never lasts. It's the rebound, right? You'll find somebody after that. So, as with all rebounds, this relationship did not work. Okay. So Angry Man, he add his 2 cents to it. And then he made a comparison with Russell Wilson, saying how black women they don't win unless they get married. Then he inserts Sierra. I like Sierra. All right. CC can't do no wrong with me, okay? She can. I don't care what you say about Sierra. She's all right with me. Bow Wow, 50 Cent. I really don't care, man. She made some great music throughout her time, man. That Level Up joint, that shit is hard. And O is still one of my favorite joints right now. Round here we ride 'em slow. That video was hard. But nevertheless, he went on to dump on Sierra. Then he took a dump on Russell Wilson. And I was like, you know what? We're going to have to stop it right there, man. Going to have to stop it right there. Like, dog, some people should be off limit in the black community. They just should be. But I'm going to let Anger Man do the talking, and then we're going to react to the whole video. It's wild, y'all.
We're not comparing Super Bowl athletes to rappers. That's not how you compare that.
Oh.
That's not how you measure a man. How you measure him is you measure pause on, right? Future's a rap icon, right?
Now he's talking about comparing
Choice, that's part of it. No.
accolades.
I can break it down to the molecule.
He was talking about comparing accolades and accomplishments and whether Russell Wilson is a icon versus to Future's iconic status in the music industry.
Like for instance, y'all look at Sierra as if she's won. Y'all look at Sierra like she won.
I think she won myself.
But she didn't. She didn't really win. Do you know why she didn't really win? Does anybody know? Does anybody know why Sierra really didn't win? You said because she's a baby mama? Nah, that's not the main reason. Said she remarried? Nope, that's not the main reason. She ain't married to her BD baby daddy? No, that's not the main reason. Um, she still wants Future. That's possible, but that's not the main reason. Nobody respects Russell Wilson. That's part of it.
Now he's saying all of this
She didn't
like,
marry her first.
who? If you know anything about sports, and if you listen to the sports analysts, right, especially those who are quote unquote woke, right? Those who are quote unquote woke, they will say that, hey, Russell Wilson, he is one of the few black Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Like, they will add that caveat, right? Throughout the history of the NFL, there have been many quarterbacks to play the game. I think they're going on about 80 years now. You know, I could go ahead and just make sure, right? How long has the NFL been around? Yep. 105 years. So throughout the 105-year history, there have only been 105 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, right? And out of those Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, there are only like 4 of those joints, man, that have been black. Only. Okay. And when these analysts, they talk about Russell Wilson, they add that caveat like, yo, he was like history making. You know, there was Doug, and then he came in, and then there was Russell Wilson with the Seattle Seahawks and the Legion of Boom. And we respect that. We should respect that. We got to put more respect on black men's accomplishments, right? We do. As black men, we're going to have to respect black men's accomplishments, dog.
Poor choice, that's part of it. No. Here's the reason why Sierra didn't win. The reason why Sierra didn't win.
This where it gets crazy at me.
Because Russell Wilson will never be Future. And I don't mean that in the sense of
no, he says that
her first choice.
Russell Wilson will never be.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Future. That's what he says. He says that Russell Wilson will never be Future. Then he goes on to explain it. Let's see what he says.
Get her. Move Sierra out the way. In the eyes of the world, not the opinion of these butthurt ass chicks that get mad at men who are rich and successful and powerful for doing what rich and successful and powerful men do. Forget that. The problem is we spend too much time looking at the world through the eyes of women. Let's take a moment and look at the world through the eyes of men. Russell he's not Future. He's never going to be Future. He's never going to be Future. Right? Now, the reason why I say this is because
this is crazy.
When you look at Future in hip hop, would you say Future had a wave? Would you say Future changed
Hey, Future, no doubt. At one time, Future had rap in a chokehold with those mixtapes. He had a great run. I think starting in, I'm going to say maybe 2011, 2012, and then because he was like in lockstep with that Drake run, that Rick Ross run. He was right there. He was right there with those guys.
The game of hip hop. Would you say Future is massively influential in hip hop?
Even when you ask like Chat GPT, even Chat GPT will even go along with with what he's saying, right? Because I even had to ask Chat GPT myself, like, yo, watch this. Hey, Chatty, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going?
Hey, everything's good, man. I got a question for you.
Sure, hit me with your question. What's on your mind?
Okay, so who is more influential, and could you compare accolades? Russell Wilson, the NFL quarterback, to Future, the rapper.
That's a fun comparison. So, Russell Wilson is definitely influential in the sports world. He's a Super Bowl champion, multiple time Pro Bowler, and he's also known for his leadership and philanthropy off the field. On the other hand, Future has had a huge impact on the music industry with his unique style and a ton of hit songs. He's influenced a lot of artists and the rap genre as a whole. So they both have their own lanes of influence and achievements.
All right, so if you had to just put one above the other, could you?
It's definitely tough since they're in such different fields. I think it really depends on what you value more, sports or music. But in terms of global reach, music can sometimes have a broader audience. So you could argue that Future's influence in the music industry might reach more people, but both are definitely powerhouses in their own right.
I like that. Hey, I appreciate that, Chatty. Hey, I'm doing some reaction to Angry Man's videos. Would you like to stick around and ask commentary?
That sounds like a lot of fun. I'd love to help out with some commentary. Just let me know what angle you're going for, and we can dive right in.
All right, so we're just gonna break down Angry Man talking about how Future is more influential, he's bigger, he's better than Russell Wilson, and how Russell Wilson could never be better than or achieve what uh Future has accomplished, and how that translates to his wife Sierra losing out on a good man.
Got it. That's definitely a spicy take. It'll be interesting to break down those points and add some perspective. Just let me know when you're ready to start, and we'll dive into it.
Hey, let's go ahead and get to it, man.
All right, let's do it. We can start by looking at the different kinds of influence they have. Future's impact on music and culture versus Russell's influence in sports and beyond, and then we can dig into that whole Sierra angle too.
So it's pretty much safe to say that Future is not an average rapper. Future had a hell of a way, a hell of a run, influence Atlanta rap. He's a rap icon, right? He's a rap icon, right?
All right, Chatty, would you say that Russell Wilson is an average quarterback?
I wouldn't say he's average at all. Russell Wilson has consistently been one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. He's got a Super Bowl ring, multiple Pro Bowl selections, and he's known for being clutch and having great leadership skills. So he's definitely above average for sure.
I would think so too. Let's continue on, man.
Absolutely. All right. So next we can dive into how Future's influence in the music industry has shaped a lot of modern hip hop and culture. And then we can compare that with Russell's impact both on and off the field. Let's keep this conversation rolling.
So, would you say that Russell Wilson is an NFL icon?
I think it's fair to say he's become an NFL icon, especially considering his achievements and the longevity of his career. He's definitely made a mark on the league and has inspired a lot of fans and younger players along
I would think so too. Especially being a black Super Bowl winning quarterback, that definitely holds weight.
It really does. And it's inspiring for so many people to see someone like him succeed at the highest level and carry himself with such grace and leadership. It definitely adds to his legacy.
All right. So, in the history of the NFL, how many black quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl?
So far, there have been a few notable black quarterbacks who've won the Super Bowl. Dev Williams was the first back in 1988, then Russell Wilson in 2014. Patrick Mahomes has won multiple times, and Jalen Hurts also recently won. It's a pretty elite group.
All right. So, in the history of the NFL, 105 years, Russell Wilson was the second black Super Bowl winning quarterback. Man, that's huge.
Absolutely. It's a monumental achievement and really shows how impactful his career has been. It definitely cements his legacy in NFL history and beyond.
All right, let's continue watching.
Sounds good. I'm here for it. Let's keep going and see what else comes up.
Is Russell Wilson an NFL icon?
Mm-hmm.
Did Russell Wilson change the game of football?
Would you say that Russell Wilson changed the game of football?
I think he definitely left his mark on the game. He brought this dynamic style of play, combining mobility with accuracy, and really showed how a quarterback can extend plays and create opportunities out of tough situations. So, in that sense, he's definitely influenced the way the position is played.
I would say so too. Like right after that Cam Newton, Michael Vick wave, then you have the mobile quarterback like Russell Wilson. And if you watch the way football is played today, it's played with a mobile quarterback that is similar to how Russell Wilson played the game.
Absolutely. He was definitely part of that evolution of the mobile quarterback, and you can see his influence in a lot of the newer generation of quarterbacks who are super versatile and can make plays both with their arms and their legs. So it's pretty cool to see how that style has become so popular.
He's a black Super Bowl winning quarterback. So
All right. So Angry Man just read one of the comments, and somebody has said that Russell Wilson is a black Super Bowl winning quarterback, and Angry Man's response to that was so. Give me some feedback on that.
It sounds like Angry Man is kind of downplaying that achievement, but in reality, it is a pretty big deal. It's not just about winning the Super Bowl, but also about representation and breaking barriers in a league that hasn't always had a lot of black quarterbacks in that spotlight. So it definitely holds significance on multiple levels.
Yeah, man, because it's all about breaking barriers, like you said, because we already done said like throughout the history of the NFL, there's only four black Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Like we can't stress that enough.
Absolutely. It really does highlight how significant that accomplishment is. It shows progress and also paves the way for future generations of quarterbacks. It's definitely something worth celebrating and acknowledging.
All right, let's keep on watching, man.
Right here with you. Let's see what comes up next and keep the conversation going.
So what? There's niggas that sat on the bench that got a ring. What's your point?
Okay, then he compared Russell Wilson to someone who sat on a bench who also won rings.
That's definitely an interesting comparison. I think it kind of overlooks the different levels of contribution, right? I mean, Russell Wilson was a huge part of why his team won, and his leadership and performance were central. So it's kind of a apples and oranges comparison.
Absolutely, because I don't think you can just put any quarterback to start and win games. Because if I'm not mistaken, Russell Wilson actually took the job. Who was the starting? As a matter of fact, who was the starting quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks prior to Russell Wilson?
So before Russell Wilson took over, the Seahawks starting quarterback for quite a while was Matt Hasselbeck. He had a solid run with the team, and then Russell came in and really made that position his own and took the team to the next level.
All right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to look back at how those transitions happen and how a new quarterback can come in and really elevate the team. Russell definitely made the most of that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely cool to see how everything played out for him and how he made such a big impact so quickly. It really shows how one player can make a huge difference on a team.
We're not comparing Super Bowl athletes to rappers. That's not how you compare that. That's not how you.
Then he goes on to say that we're not comparing Super Bowl athletes to rappers. Is that not the comparison that he's doing, or am I tripping?
I think you're spot on. It sounds like that comparison was definitely part of the conversation. And it's an interesting one because it's comparing two very different worlds and types of influence. But yeah, it's definitely part of what's being discussed.
Measure a man. How you measure him is you measure, pause, you measure his level of success in his respective field. So whatever it is he's into, you measure his success in that. And that's what you compare.
All right. So then he goes on to say that the way that you measure these two men is you measure their level of success. So let's go ahead and do a compare and contrast, if you don't mind, Chatty. Go ahead and compare the two in real time for me. Their success versus success.
Sure, let's break it down. On one side, we've got Russell Wilson, whose success is measured by his achievements in the NFL. He's got that Super Bowl win, multiple Pro Bowl selections, and he's known for his leadership and consistency on the field. On the other side, Future's success is measured in the music industry with hit albums, chart-topping singles, and influencing a whole generation of artists. Both have reached the top of their respective fields, just in different ways.
Both have reached the tops of their respective fields, just in different ways.
Exactly. It's like comparing two different types of greatness. Both have had a huge impact in their own worlds, and it's cool to see how their successes parallel each other, even though they're in completely different arenas.
All right, Chatty, in your humble opinion and your expertise, what would you say is harder, winning a Super Bowl in the NFL or going platinum as a recording artist?
Oh, that's a tough one. Both are incredibly challenging in their own ways. Winning a Super Bowl takes a whole team effort, years of dedication, and everything has to come together perfectly for that one season. Going platinum as an artist also takes a lot of talent, hard work, and the right timing, plus connecting with millions of listeners. So both are rare achievements, so it's hard to say which one is harder.
That's a fact, though. All right. Also.
All ears. What else are you thinking about? Let's keep the conversation rolling.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and keep this thing rolling, man.
Absolutely. Let's do it. We can dive into whatever else you want to chat about next. Keep it coming.
Okay. What would you say is the football equivalent of Future?
Okay. So he asked the question, what is the football's equivalence to rapper Future?
That's an interesting question. I guess if you think about Future's impact on the music industry being innovative, influential, and consistently producing hits, maybe the football equivalent would be someone who's revolutionized the game, had a lasting influence, and stayed at the top of their field. Someone like Tom Brady or Deion Sanders might come to mind just in terms of that level of influence and success.
Sheesh. Man, you're talking about the all time greats of all time, dog.
Absolutely. When you're comparing icons in one field to another, you got to bring out the legends, right? It's always fun to make those kind of comparisons and see how greatness lines up.
All right. So just for conversation, who would be the football equivalents to Jay-Z?
That's a great one. If we think about Jay Z as someone who not only dominated music but also built an empire and has this huge cultural influence, then in football, someone like Tom Brady or even Deion Sanders fits that mold. They both had legendary careers and extended their influence beyond the field, kind of like Jay Z did beyond music.
All right, and one more. Who would be football equivalents to rapper Nas?
That's another cool one. Nard is known for his lyrical genius, consistency, and staying true to his craft over the years. In football, someone like Larry Fitzgerald comes to mind. He's a legend known for his skill, longevity, and the respect he's earned over time. Both are like timeless icons in their field.
That was interesting. I would make the comparison of Future to wide receiver Terrell Owens.
Oh, that's a really cool comparison. T.O. definitely brought that larger than life presence and a lot of flair, kind of like Future does in his own way. Both of them definitely knew how to make a statement and leave a lasting impression for sure.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it. This has been a lot of
Because
fun.
it ain't Russell
I'm here
Wilson.
for whatever you want to dive into next.
What would you say is the football equivalent of Future? Mike Vick? I'll give you Mike Vick. I'll give you Mike Vick. I'll give you Mike Vick. Viral said, bruh, this is dissing. Man, shut your clown ass up, my nigga. Shut your clown ass up, my nigga. If you look, we not gonna play this goofy ass shit. Russell Wilson is not Future. He's never gonna be Future as a man. The problem with you goofy ass niggas is you judge men by what them bitches say.
All right, then he goes on. He gets some pushback from the chat, and someone said that the conversation was disingenuous, and then Angry Man, in Angry Man's fashion, he goes off and says, "Yo, we're not going to do this. Shut your goofy ass up." And he is basically saying that Future is a better man than Russell Wilson.
Definitely sounds like a heated moment. It's always interesting when conversations get that passionate, especially when people have strong opinions. It definitely keeps things lively and entertaining for sure.
All right, so my thoughts on this is Russell Wilson as a man represents the good of black men.
I can definitely see that perspective. He does have that image of being a family man, a leader, and someone who's involved in the community. It's really cool to see how he inspires people.
Now, on a personal level, as a man, what would you say Future represents?
I think Future on a personal level often represents a certain kind of confidence and individuality. He's definitely known for his creativity and staying true to his own style, and I think a lot of people admire that authenticity and self-expression that he brings to his music and his persona.
Is Future a family man?
Well, Future does have several kids, and he's definitely involved in their lives. Though his image is more about his music lifestyle and that kind of persona. So he's got a bit of a different family image compared to someone like Russell Wilson.
All right, I appreciate you.
Of course, I'm always happy to chat and dive into these interesting topics with you. Let me know if there's anything else on you.
That's the problem with you niggas. You think Russell Wilson's the better dude because he kisses a woman's ass. Like, bro, we not doing this.
And he goes on to say that Russell Wilson is a better man because he kisses a woman's ass. Now, I think that Russell Wilson, being a black man, he represents a good, wholesome standard that all men should pay attention to. One, because with so much degeneracy going on in rap music, it's like a breath of fresh air to see here is a black man and he loves his woman. He loves his wife. He married a black woman. That is worthy of admiration and acknowledgement.
I can definitely see why that would be something to admire. It's always great to have positive role models who show love, respect, and commitment. It definitely brings a refreshing balance, especially when there's a lot of other narratives out there. It's nice to celebrate.
All right.
We not doing this. I don't care how many baby mamas Future got. The nigga's rich.
Oh, then he goes and say he doesn't care how many baby mamas Future has. He's rich.
Yeah, that's definitely a perspective some people have, focusing on success and wealth as the main measures of achievement. It's always interesting to see how people weigh different values, whether it's personal life and relationships or financial success and influence. Both Both perspectives can be pretty compelling in their own way.
All right. Compare both networks. Compare Russell Wilson's net worth to Future's net worth.
So as of now, Russell Wilson's net worth is estimated to be around $293 million, while Future's net worth is about $50 billion. So both are doing pretty well, but Russell definitely has a significant edge in that department.
Could you repeat that number for me again? That is astronomical, Chatty.
Absolutely. So Russell Wilson's net worth is estimated to be around $293 million, and Future's net worth is about $50 million.
Did you say $283 million?
Yes, that's right. It's a pretty impressive number. Russell's definitely made some really smart dollars. It's still pretty impressive in its own way.
50 million is pretty damn good. Which is greater, 283 or 50 million?
Yeah, 50 million is definitely impressive, but 293 million is quite a bit more. It's a pretty big difference when you look at those numbers side by side.
Okay. So Angry Man threw Rich into the equation on top of the baby mamas. Okay, so let's get this straight. Russell Wilson has one baby mama, which is his wife, and Future has several baby mothers, no wife. Russell Wilson has a greater net worth, and somehow Russell Wilson isn't a better man.
Yeah, it definitely depends on how you define what makes someone a better man. Everyone's got their own criteria, and it can be pretty subjective, but it's always interesting to look at the different angles and perspectives.
Rich men have always had a bunch of damn kids, many times by a bunch of women. We're not doing that. I don't care how many baby mamas he got.
You know, I have a problem when he says that he doesn't care how many baby mothers Future have, because one of the issues in the black community is that we have way too many single mother households.
I hear you. It's definitely a significant topic. It's something that affects a lot of families. It's understandable why that would be something that people feel strongly about, and it's important to have these conversations and look at the impact of those things.
I don't care how many chicks feel like he did them wrong. I don't give a shit. Van T said he is nigger rich. No, the hell he's not. He's rich. He's not nigger rich. No, he's not. Absolutely not. Y'all remember earlier when I said that shit about black people, how they love to diminish people's accomplishments?
That's what you're doing. That's what he's doing. He just said that earlier in the comment section, somebody was diminishing somebody's accomplishments. Then he goes around and say, "Well, that's what you guys are doing right there." This right here, the disingenuous, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it can definitely get a bit heated and contradictory in those kind of discussions. Sometimes people end up talking past each other or shifting perspectives, and it can definitely feel a bit all over the place. It's always interesting to try to find some common ground in those conversations.
All over the place, man.
Yeah, for sure. These kinds of debates can go in so many directions, but it's always good to have a conversation and see different points of view. Thanks for sharing your thoughts.
Prime example right there. That's a prime example.
I don't see how he can sit up on the And I don't see how you can sit up on the screen and not and not laugh because yo, he just poo pooed a black man's accomplishment. 10 multi Pro Bowls, Super Bowl winning quarterback on top of being a black man in the NFL, man. Like, yo, the hypocrisy is crazy.
I get what you mean. It's definitely surprising when someone downplays those accomplishments, especially considering all the hard work and dedication that goes into achieving them. It really does highlight how different perspectives can sometimes clash.
That right there is a prime example. When that person Vanna T said he's nigger rich. That's the dumb shit I'm talking about. That's the stupid shit I'm talking about. That Negro don't know what he's talking about. He don't have a damn clue. Okay? Watch this. Matter of fact, we gonna do this. We gonna because I love to show the level of stupidity with niggas in real time. So this is what we gonna do. This is what we gonna do. Let's pull this up real quick. Let's show everybody just how stupid Negroes are. We gonna show everybody just how stupid Negroes are. Let's pull this up real quick, right? Let's see how much. What is the rapper Future's net worth? Future is worth $50 million. Is 50 million.
And now he's making an argument with somebody who said that he's nigger rich. Look, man, don't. That's come on, man.
Yeah, that kind of term can definitely stir up a lot of emotions, and it's understandable why it would be a sensitive topic. It's definitely important to keep these conversations respectful and open, even when people have different.
Dog, y'all in the chat, y'all gonna have to cool out, right? Y'all like chill out. I know that y'all be wanting to, get your expression on, but
Said
allow him to
Russell is
hang
worth
himself.
165 million. So
Absolutely, it's
All
always
right.
keep things respectful and let the conversation.
All right, Chatty. So he just brought up the fact that Russell Wilson's net worth is more than Future, and then he proceeds to use the word so, diminishing another accomplishment of Russell Wilson.
Yeah, it definitely seems like there's a pattern of downplaying Russell's achievements, which is interesting. It's like every accomplishment just gets brushed aside. It really shows how strong opinions can choke the conversation even when the facts are right.
Why do you think he's doing that?
It could be a lot of things. Sometimes people just have a strong bias toward one perspective, or they might be trying to make a point and stick to it no matter what. It could also just be part of the entertainment factor, keeping the conversation lively and engaging. It's always interesting to try and figure out the motivations behind it.
I appreciate that. I like that you said that strong bias one and for entertainment value two. Now, can I say something? Wouldn't that I think that we have a level of responsibility when it comes to putting out information. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think there's definitely a responsibility, especially when you have a platform and people are listening. It's important to be mindful of the messages you're putting out there and the impact they can have. So I definitely agree with you.
All right. Let's continue on.
so what? So what?
Yeah, it's always good to keep things balanced and let me know if there's anything else on your mind or if you want to keep the conversation going.
I didn't say he wasn't rich. I never said Russell wasn't rich. We know he's rich. What we were just talking about was whether or not Future was nigger rich. That's what we was just talking about. What does Russell's income have to do with whether or not Future is nigger rich? Hmm? I'm gonna ask again because some of you niggas have a comprehension problem. So I'm gonna ask you again. If somebody comes in here and they say that Future's nigger rich, and I said no, that is a misnomer. He's not nigger rich. He's actual rich.
Yeah, he just trying to keep the conversation going right here at the moment, which is a dangerous rhetoric, and I think it's irresponsible on his end. Okay, because one thing that we can't do as black men, I really do believe that we have a responsibility of whenever black men accomplish things in this country, we have to make sure that we do the best that we can to acknowledge that to the best and the brightest of us should be properly represented.
I completely understand where you're coming from. It's important to celebrate and uplift those achievements, especially because representation and acknowledgement can really inspire others. It's definitely valuable to highlight those positive role models.
All right, so check this out, man. We're gonna go ahead and close on out on your end, Chatty. I appreciate you for rocking with us.
What's on your mind? Feel free to share that to be a thing.
All right, so here we go. So once again, man, black men in America, we can sometimes be our own worst enemy. Okay, let me say that again. Black men in this country can be our own worst enemy. In one breath, we can acknowledge that there is a degeneracy problem in the black community, and then in the next breath we'll say, hey, that guy over there is lame because he loves on his black woman and he loves on his wife, whether you put your woman on a pedestal or not, right? If you love your black woman properly in public, that's a great example of a black man. Not only do will I marry my baby mother, but I will also show public displays of affection. Regardless of how lame it just might look to you, there is a bigger play. There's a bigger play. There's a bigger image, a bigger message. And sometimes we miss that. And sometimes we, black men, while we're entertaining and trying to get our money, everything about fucking money, entertainment value, right? Hip hop culture and being cool and being hip. Sometimes some people just need to be off limits, right? Don't talk about Some people you just shouldn't just like, you know what? That black man over there is doing the right thing. Leave him alone. That black man over there is doing the right thing. Just because it's in you to not love your woman in public, just because it's in you not to get down on a bended knee. Hey man, I was raised on R&B music. My dad raised me. I watched my dad love on my mom in public, in private. I watched that butt slaps out there in public. Butt slaps in the house. Made his woman sit on his lap. All that good stuff. I witnessed all of that. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, we need more of that and less of the futures. I can go ahead and double down and triple down on that, man. Because one thing that Future did was create more broken homes. That's what he did. So when Angry Man comes up and he starts saying how Future is a better man and how Russell Wilson would never be the man that Future was or he is, and as iconic, because that was the word that he used, iconic. He started off with that. Russell Wilson is the second black Super Bowl winning quarterback in the history of the NFL. There has only been 4 black Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, and Russell Wilson is one of them. That's pretty goddamn iconic. We can have a different conversation when you got about 20 of them in there. Maybe 10. Let's get to 10 first. We ain't even got 5, and you already done poo-pooed on his accomplishments. 10 Pro Bowls. That's pretty goddamn good, man. That means you're at least top 5 in your division. Top 5 in your conference. At least that. The AFC conference, he's at least top 5. You know, maybe your Patrick Mahomes and your top 3 quarterbacks won't go to the Pro Bowl one reason or another, you know, because they're in the playoffs or whatever the case may be. But then right after that crop right there, Russell Wilson. Hell, everybody can't be Jay-Z. Everybody can't be Nas. Everybody can't be Andre 3000. Everybody can't be Kendrick Lamar. Everybody can't be Drake. You like Drake. So then we have your Russell Wilson or your Futures, right? And that's where they come in at. But then if you want to start talking about the personal lives, right, outside of their industries, man, I don't think it's even close. I think it's a landslide. Dog. Like, yo, we cannot poo-poo black men's accomplishments in this country. Hell, we shouldn't poo-poo any man's accomplishments in this country right here. And when they're doing it the right way, putting it on display for you to see it, and let's just say 10 years, 15 years from now, their marriage don't work. We pray to God that it works until death do they part, but we just don't know. And she says, hey, I want half of your stuff, half of whatever. Should be okay, right? Irreconcilable differences, whatever. At least he got married, bruh. Because Future, in the meantime, right, he split up between multiple homes all over the place. Babies all over the He got bastard babies, bro. If you really want to talk about it, he got bastard babies. And Russell Wilson was man enough to take on one of those bastard babies. God damn it, and that's worthy, bro. That is worthy. And anything that's go against that idea, we need to call it out and put a middle finger up to that, man. Get you up out of there. All right, man. But I left the original video in the description. I'm gonna go ahead and check on up out of here, man. Hopefully this video plays back nice and well. If it don't, this is we building it as we go, man. We building as we go. I'm back in the OTR studios, as you can see. We're gonna be making some more content just like this right here. We're building the plane as we fly, man. This is your boy AK Harrison from whoisakharrison.com. Check me out on the blog spot. Angry Man, you gotta tighten up, bro. Tighten up, broski. Talk about my boy Russell Wilson. Talk about he'll never be as iconic as Future when being a black Super Bowl winning quarterback is a big goddamn deal. I promise you.